Hey Mitch, could you kind of just take us through the emotions of what this morning's been like and sort of your reaction when you heard?
Um, I don't know. I'm pretty neutral from my end. Um, I know our guys are high quality talent, and I know we deserve to be in the postseason. But I don't like getting too high or too low off anything. Didn't really matter which regional we're going to be in. I don't think that should come into play. It's just be where you're supposed to be and go take care of business. So, obviously, when the guys see their name up there, everybody's cheering and excited, and actually, everyone was about ready to go walk out the room because they want to go hit the weight room and they want to go practice. So once they find out where they're going, now it just gets down to the work. So that's what we're excited for.
Could you kind of take us through that scene? Where did you guys watch the selection show at?
Up in the Omaha room, opened up all the doors, beautiful day, warm as can be outside, and sat there, turned on all the TVs. Everybody brought in their breakfast or what have you, and you know, didn't want to make it anything more than it is, other than us getting together and preparing for the next objective.
Coach, do you know anything about Dallas Baptist, or will you now dive into kind of research?
I haven't seen them play this year or much, but I mean, our resources, much like most schools, there's no secrets. You pretty much watch every game they've played all year and break it down, which is what we're going to get into right now for Dallas Baptist, TCU, and McNeese. So, but I mean, we played their program and know Hefner and the style that they typically play with. So, solid program. Got to prepare. Got to play our game.
What does your guys' week look like? Do you practice today or tomorrow, or what's your practice schedule? And then when will you fly out?
Yeah, we'll get after it today and tomorrow as well. Wednesday morning, most likely, will be a flight and then get a workout in. We got to find somewhere to work out down there. Wednesday evening, just something light. Today will be light as well. Moving around, getting the guys rested and recovered after the 56 thus far from yesterday and today. And then tomorrow we'll have a solid workout, go over a handful of fundamentals and anything that we catch on our scouting reports from the other teams, stuff that we want to prepare for. What do they like to do with the running game? How they defend bunts? How they execute them on offense as well? Just different situational pieces. And then Wednesday getting out there because Thursday at 1:00, 11 our time, game one.
The game Thursday? I thought it was Friday for some reason.
I don't know, I'm ready every day.
You're born ready.
I want to go. But yeah, we'll get out there early and get a handful of workouts in. I think it's just guys getting out there and acclimating to temperature and all that other stuff, and guys have been taking care of their stuff in school too, which is great. So they know what their focus is on right now.
Mitch, how much does it help to have guys like Kevin and Molly who've been there, done that, and gone through this week of getting on the plane and going through a really condensed schedule and kind of having that experience?
Having the older guys is very valuable. Having been down that road before, sometimes when you go into a new environment and you haven't experienced like that situation with postseason, game can get sped up on some guys. Different location you've never been, different atmosphere, and it's literally at the point where you win, you stay, you lose, you go home, and that can be a little added fun for each individual. I remember 05 going to Omaha, and you were just in awe of the whole situation, and it before you knew it was over. And then 06 you kind of felt a little more settled in, and 07 it was like you knew you belonged there and it was your house. You're home away from home, your vacation spot. So having older guys there who've been through it, I think can provide a little bit of that calming goat, that some of the guys might need, but also having guys that have been there, there's zero thought or even everyone's going to be full of energy, right? Doesn't matter how many games you played or how tired you may have been down the stretch, or mental, physical fatigue, whatever. That's all out the door now. It's postseason time. Everyone's fully charged. It doesn't matter if how your legs feeling or your arms feeling. You're going to go out there and give everything that you possibly have. And the guys that have been down that road in the postseason, I think it's extremely valuable. And the guys that haven't, this is going to be great for them. But I think one of the biggest things we've had that has helped us this year was all the close games. Dealing with great competition, dealing with a difficult loss, dealing with tight games that we've come back and won. I mean, we've seen these guys come back 7, 8, 9 and put on runs. We've seen what our pitchers can do, and now all this is putting it all together and competing every pitch.
Coach, when we got guys beginning of the season, before everything kicked off, one of the things all the players mentioned to us was that they loved how close this team was. Does that statement still stand? Does that still stand out about this team going into this final run?
Of course, these guys love one another, and they've continued to build lasting, lifelong relationships. You can see it when they're at the airport. You see it when they're on the bus. You see it when they're in the clubhouse. You can see it when they're on the field. There's no doubt yesterday, as the guys are relaxing a little bit, that they're all together, right? Their parents are all back home, wherever their hometown is, and these guys are family right here for one another. So that's a huge part of it. And you see it when a guy doesn't get the job done. There's the entirety of the dugout waiting to pick that guy up. Hey, keep your head up. You got this. And it doesn't just go to the baseball stuff. They care about each other in everything that they do, which is why you feel good about going into the postseason, because the postseason emotions can ride high and low really quickly. And that's where we go into these things as prepared as possible. And you keep those guys, like I said, we've had enough tight games all year. That can bring people closer together. It can tear you apart. And the fact that we're in the postseason right now shows us that it's brought us closer together.
Mitch, obviously it wasn't like the perfect final month of the season, but what do you like most about where this team is at right now, heading into the most important time?
Just look at last weekend, our starting pitching, what Kevin was able to go out and do, and the growth he's shown right there. He took on the big challenge in a very tight ball game. Jerp, we know what he's capable of doing, and having a guy like Will Frisch that can start a game or piggyback any of those guys at any point in time, because he has elite level stuff, and he plays that hybrid role very well. But also Jake Finnings, so postseason time, a lot of it has to do with pitching depth and how bad our guys down the bullpen want the baseball. I think that's a blessing. And, even watching what our position players do, and, something like Kyle Dernetti coming off the bench, who hasn't played in a long time, providing a big spark, and just playing the game the right way, moving the baseball. And so we're continuing to learn a lot more about ourselves. Troy Claunch has continued to grow throughout this season, more and more confident, and sticking within himself, driving the baseball on a line. And it's spreading, finding barrels. We had a drought right there, 23 innings of not scoring a run, but all it takes is that blooper, right, to get the ball rolling. All it takes, and we saw that happen. Score 9 the last game. So we know we're going to be facing great competition, but that's where today's practice is extremely important. I don't want to see the ball jumping up in the air and people trying to get outside themselves. I want to see the ball moving on a line forward.
Who would be your your fourth starter if you had to pick one for the weekend?
All 12 of them. Whole staff.
Actually, last I checked, that wasn't possible. I think only one guy can be on the mound at once.
Well, that's not true. After we throw the ball around, everyone meets up there for a quick second and, just see who takes the ball and steps on the rubber, I guess. Got a lot of options. I mean, really, it depends on how the first couple games end up going, but obviously Frisch being extremely durable, Washburn, guy who's taken the bump like that before, Brock Townsend, who, opponents, you look at his numbers and ERA is low, strikeouts per nine is low or pretty high. Walks per nine is very low, which is all great. Mixing pitches in the bomb zone. And he reminds me of a guy like Dan Turpin did back in the day, where he comes in and makes some very important starts. And at the time, Turpin shut out Rice, and I could see, just already visualize that kind of thing happening with Brock Townsend coming in and having a very important role for us this postseason.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you, Coach.
Are you guys healthy? Other besides Melton, everybody else is able to play.
Postseason healthy, right? Means whatever it takes. I guess the you don't feel the little dings here and there. I mean, these guys have been going. It's the first full season, and even for the freshmen, they haven't experienced this kind of go mode for a long time. And but again, once you could tell, once our name was announced on the screen today, it was there's no holding back now. I bet if I go out and ask anyone how they're feeling, everyone's going to say great, ready to go. Let me know where you need me, right? So even if they were a little dinged up, I doubt they'd tell me at this point.
Hey, Kevin, what was your reaction to landing in the regional and just the field that you'll be competing against?
We're excited to continue playing. It's really all we could ask for. We don't really care who it is and where we're going. We just want to keep playing and wear this jersey as long as we can.
Did you guys have like a viewing party or get together as a team or anything like that? And if so, what was the general reaction, when you guys landed where you landed?
Yeah, we all watched the selection show as a team, but everyone was just excited to be going somewhere. We don't really, like I said, we don't really care who it is, where we're going. Just want to strap it up, get between those white lines again.
Kevin, I know for you, it's been kind of a really long road back to the postseason. Can you put into words kind of just the emotions of being headed back after the injuries and everything?
Yeah, it's great. Really, all you can ask for is an opportunity to get back to Omaha, and I think we got a good shot at it. Just got it's the first one to 11 wins, 10 or 11 wins. So it's a race at this point.
You guys obviously didn't play as well as you would like over the last month there. I mean, how would you describe the mindset of the team heading into the postseason?
Good. I think we ended on a great note to end the regular season. Pitched it pretty well this weekend, and then really bats turned on Sunday, and it showed that we've got a lot of depth. We can run it for a 3-game set and 4 if we need to in a weekend. We have that kind of depth, so it's really just going to be putting it together, playing defense like we do, pitching it like we do, and just manufacturing runs.
Kevin, this is a time of the year that you guys look forward to most. A lot of guys on this team, it's their first go around with the postseason because of COVID and everything. What I guess is the overall mindset, or what advice can you give to them since it is such a long stretch?
Enjoy it. It's fun. Take those little extra moments to look into the stands and feel the energy. Where we are fortunate enough to be going to Texas, where they're a little more open, and there'll probably be a little bit more fans. So it's really just enjoying it, and then being able to refocus and play the game that we know how to play, and not try to do too much. If we're playing Beaver baseball, we deserve to be here, and we're going to make the most of it. That's for sure.
Was there any doubt or concern before the field was announced, or were you pretty confident you guys would land where you landed?
I mean, I personally don't stay up to date too much on what like the last 5 out or first 5 out, last 5 in, whatever so I knew we were not going to be a 1 seed, but probably a 2 or 3 seed somewhere, and that's really I assumed we were going to be continuing to play. That's me personally, at least.
Okay. Anything else for Kevin?
I guess just with your experience and everything you guys did, a couple of years ago, taking that to this team now, what is it going to take for this group to have a run? What's been holding it back? And as you look over the next month here, what's it going to take for you guys to do some damage?
I think it's kind of just letting go. Obviously, we didn't have the regular season we wanted to. Going into today, we wanted to be one of those host sites. So I think we all kind of pressed as a team because we weren't playing up to that expectation. But now everyone's 0-0. It's a new season, so it allows us to flush that, and now it's win as many games with losing as few as possible. So I think everyone's just going to relax a little bit more and get to. We play well with our backs against the wall and our bags packed. So we're going to see if we can do that for a few weeks.
And what about you personally? Obviously, probably not totally the season that you had hoped for, but you've been getting better as you go on. How are you heading into the postseason? And I imagine you've been kind of building to this.
Yeah, feeling good. The more I throw, the more in rhythm I feel. The stronger I feel. It's more comfortable I feel. So it's just it's been I haven't had the season I wanted to, but I'm happy with the trend it's showing right now.
How would you size up the field and where you guys landed, Troy?
I don't really know. I mean, obviously TCU is a good team. I think we got Dallas Baptist first, so all that matters is DBU for us right now. So we're gonna dive into them, see what they're about, but ultimately what matters is just us and how we play our game. So we're excited. That's really it.
What were kind of the emotions for you just when you heard you guys' names called and knew you were all the way in?
I mean, yeah, it's a sense of relief. It's excitement, and it's a kickstart. It's time to go. Now that we're officially in, that's what matters. And the 56 games are in the past, as I've said before, and all that matters is our game on Friday.
How will the final 3 to 4 weeks of the regular season affect this team as it goes into this week?
Like I just said, they don't. It is what it is. You know what I mean? We had some really close games. We lost some of those close games, but I think we've learned from it. And now we're just ready to go. We're going to have a good week of practice. We're going to get our minds right, and we're just going to be ready to fly down to Texas and play some baseball.
It seems like there's been a lot of talk of this being a somewhat disappointing season for you guys, but I mean, you're still a number 2 seed headed to Texas. Does it feel like there's a lot of, untapped potential here?
I mean, when you play for a premier program like we play for, that's one of the things you deal with when you're a 2 seed in a regional. It's a down year. Obviously, we want to host every single year, and we believe that we have the potential to host every single year. But it's not how it played out this year. So we're gonna just go in and play our baseball, and hopefully come out of the regional as a winner, as a 2 seed.
What do you like most about where this team is right now, heading into the postseason?
Yeah, I like everything. I like the fact that we ended on a high note. We've been pitching really well. Our bats are going to be there when we need them to be there. So, as we showed on Sunday, we can put up 9 against a really good team. So that's all that matters. We just got to have a good mentality going into it. Stay positive in our approach, and again, play beaver baseball.
Troy, this is a long stretch where you guys have to win as many games as you can. How does playing that Pac-12 schedule and going up against so many great, challenging teams prepare you for this time of the year?
Yeah, as you said, the Pac was really good this year. We played a lot of really good teams. that are in the regional. And, we actually played most of those teams at the end of the season. So, we've had a tough schedule. We've been playing against regional caliber teams lately. So going into these games is going to be nothing new for us. We're used to the competition, and we're just going to fight.
Kevin said you guys watched the selection show as a team. Can you paint that picture, that scene for us? Were you guys did you give it a little golf clap, or did you kind of erupt? You see some of the teams kind of go crazy. What was the reaction in the room?
Yeah, we were all excited. I don't think anybody's not going to be excited when you get into a regional and you get the chance to keep playing. So yeah, we were all in a room together, gave a good little cheer, and from that point on, it was all business. Everybody's just focused on the task at hand at this point.
Obviously, pitching depth is really, really important once you get to this point in the season. The staff as well as anybody. What do you think kind of makes the staff so special and is gonna be an asset for you guys?
Yeah, in this set, you need to have depth. In the regional, there's a chance you play 4 games, so you need 4 legit starters, and that's exactly what we have. You need to have bullpen depth because you just never know what's going to happen. So, we're gonna come down there guns blazing out of the pen, and hopefully our starters can get us deep. And hopefully we only need to use our main 3 guys, and we don't have to go to a 4th. But
how would you describe this season overall?
I don't really know. I mean, we've had our ups and downs, but we've just kind of stuck to what we do. As you said earlier, some people may see it as a down year for us, but I don't like to believe in that. I don't buy into that. We play baseball. Baseball is a crazy game. There's been some crazy things happen to us this year. We've been in a lot of really close games. I think that a lot of people know that this team is resilient. We're not going to give in. We've won a lot of games really late. So, we're just going to fight. We're going to be that gritty group of guys from the Pacific Northwest. And we're going to go down to Texas and show them what we're about.
Can you explain the impact of having a guy like Kevin on the roster in a situation like this? The pitch in as big of a moment as you can have and come through.
Yeah, he's been there. He's done that. There's gonna be no surprises for him. The moment's not gonna get too big. When he steps on that mound, he's gonna have that cool, calm, collected look that he always has. And I think it's just gonna feed off on our younger guys. Kevin's gonna go out there on Friday night for us and hopefully put up another great performance and just kind of inspire Coop to do the same thing the next day, and then Phoenix the next day. So, hopefully they all build off each other, but we're confident that Kevin's gonna go out there and set the foundation for us.
I imagine this season has tested you guys like never before, just because all the COVID restrictions and testing and all that sort of stuff. Can you speak to just what it means to this team to play every game? I know you guys are the only one in the conference, one of the few in the country to not have any cancellations. Does that mean anything to you guys?
It just means that we've been diligent. We've been doing things the right way. We've stuck to the plan that we set forth. We prioritized baseball and made sure that we did everything possible to get all those 56 games in. Just shows, how much it means to all of us that this is what we want to do and this is why we're here.